Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Trek Online. Let's go find the Toxutot.
The Tox Utot has fallen into the hands of the Tholians. Our intelligence indicates increased Tholian activity in the Nakul system. Caldano believes they are trying to interfere with the Nakul in the present because of actions they will take.
Hey, hang on a second, did I end up turning up my music or something? Guess I did a little bit. Hang on, let me turn it back down just a little. Nope.
The Tox Utot has fallen into the hands of the Tholians. Our intelligence indicates increased Tholian activity in the Nakul system. Caldano believes they are trying to interfere with the Nakul in the present because of actions they will take in the future. Caldano has asked you to rendezvous with him in the Nakul system.
Is that a Dominion ship down there? Or is that a 31st century ship or something? There's a lot of people over there for some reason. Yeah, before we continue, I ended up finding something interesting in my inventory. It's a encoded data receiver from Sela.
I apologize for leaving you without a farewell, but meaningless imprisonment and a show trial for the Republic is not on my agenda. The Iconians must be stopped. And despite what you believe about me, I intend to help you defeat them. I owe the Iconians for the months I spent locked in their prison. I owe them for the unspeakable things they did to my loyal subjects. And most of all, I owe them for what they did to my world. We Romulans were strong once, united, feared. The loss of the home world took all of that away, and while Taurus and Hakiv might have been the ones to light the fuse, the Iconians gave them the flame. Now, we squabble amongst ourselves, and the Republic begs for scraps from the tables of the Federation and the Klingons. Romulans are refugees now. We are farmers. We are meaningless, seen as little more than the alien trash of the Quadrant. No more! Everything I have ever done has been for my people. I am Romulan. And I will be avenged.
So yeah, apparently she was sending me messages after we got separated on the Iconian Solanae Dyson sphere.
Did you think I'd forgotten you? Never. We are allies now, joined against a common foe. It surprises me too. You've done well enough building your forces so far. I hear you've even had a few small victories against the Iconians. It must be so, because the galaxy isn't burning yet. It won't be enough. Not even bringing in the fleets of the Delta Quadrant will be enough to stop the Heralds and their Iconian masters. That's where I come in. There are people who won't talk to you. Some of them are old enemies, and some of them simply have differing viewpoints on the state of things. But they'll listen to me. It's an interesting position. I am everyone's enemy, but I am also a weapon that everyone wants to wield. I've always been an outsider caught between worlds. Sometimes it takes stepping outside of the boundaries to see how irrelevant those lines really are. I am, once again, an exile. When I was forced to leave Romulus more than 2 decades ago, I went deep into the Beta Quadrant, far beyond where your ships have ever gone. There, I found the tools I needed to rebuild my life and create an empire. Now, I have passed through the Prophet's Gate in my quest to defeat the Iconians, and I am in a place where no one considers me a half-breed or a traitor. I am one alien among many. For most of my life, the greatest insult you could make would be to call me human. Now, in a place where no human has ever been, I often find myself wondering what she would think of this place. What she would think of me. But I don't have time for self-pity or regret. I seek those who could help us end this war. When I find them, I will tell them everything they need to know. If they will listen.
Yeah, she was, the new selection's just gonna take me to whatever this thing does. Well, okay, I know what it does, but... yeah, apparently she's been sending us messages long before the Iconian War ended. I just never knew that before.
Good to see you again. Thank you for responding to my message so quickly. The Tholians have the quantum phase inhibitor. I've tracked their ship to this system, and I'm detecting some telltale quantum fluctuations within the star. They're trying to use the device. We need to stop them and recover it. First, however, we need to help the Nakul. At this point in their history, they're not prepared to repel a Tholian attack.
Agreed. Set a course for the lead Tholian vessel. The Nakul are hailing us, sir. Shall I put them on the main view screen? On screen.
Unidentified vessel. You have entered our space without authorization. If you are an ally of the Tholians, leave now. We have done nothing to provoke their attacks, but we will defend ourselves.
We will render any assistance we can. What do you need?
Thank you. My people have few warships. Any assistance you can provide against the Tholians would be appreciated.
Consider it done. Hey, hold on. Okay. Now we can talk.
We appreciate your assistance. It is not often that we encounter a species willing to risk their lives for another. We are still detecting Tholian ships near our star, as well as some unusual quantum fluctuations. It's as if the star's nuclear fusion is decaying at an increased rate.
Yes, they stole a device from us that interferes with the fusion process in the sun. Actually, that was a little too honest.
So this is your fault? Why would you make such a terrible thing? You caused this problem. I expect you to fix it, or we will hold you and your people responsible for the consequences.
Caldano created the device in the future. The Tholians stole it from him. We're just trying to set things right.
I should have never made that device. I was only focused on the idea, on whether it was possible. I didn't stop to think of all the harm it could do in the wrong hands. We have to stop the Tholians before they shut down the star's fusion. If that happens, the effect on this system will be devastating. The Nakul will lose their home, and life will probably never develop here again.
Helm, lay a course in for the star, full impulse.
The lead Tholian ship has the quantum phase inhibitor. They're going to use it on the star. We have to stop them. Board that vessel and get it back.
Looks like they're already using it. Look, I helped you out as best I could with the Borgons.
Try to trace me this time. We'll have to go further into the past to hide the quantum phase inhibitor.
Tholian ship is disabled. And sensors confirm the Toxutot is aboard. We can't get a lock on it, though, to much interference. Recommend we send an away team in a shuttle to board the ship and retrieve the device. Signal Caldano to join us in the shuttle bay and prepare to launch shuttle.
We've docked with a Tholian ship. The good news is that my scans indicate the quantum phase inhibitor is on the bridge. All we need to do is go get it. The bad news is that the Tholians know we're here. They're not going to give up without a fight.
Understood. We're ready.
The Tholians come from an environment that is extremely hazardous to most humanoids. You and your team will need environment suits to survive.
Understood. Thanks for the reminder. Nice little runabout here. Starfleet cargo. Transporter pad. This would be the quarters. Oh god!
Tholians, just as xenophobic and opportunistic in your time as mine. We have to be getting closer to the Tox Utot. Stay alert.
I have a flashlight. Doesn't really do much.
The bridge should be just ahead.
I think that's the first time I've seen them web me like that. Wait, why are you called Visionary?
Now we just need to drop that force field, get the quantum phase inhibitor, and get off this ship before the rest of the Tholians get here to stop us.
Drop the field. Get the quantum phase inhibitor. Got it.
Finally, we have the quantum phase inhibitor. I brought this device through time to hide it from the Vorgons, but I never thought the Tholians would steal it. Now we need to hide it where it will be safe from both of them. Are you ready? This will be a longer trip than you're used to taking.
Beam us to the shuttle and launch immediately. Let's get to the ship.
Set a course for the Ryza system.
Ryza, early 22nd century. Even the tourists won't be in this region for a few years yet. No one will be looking for the quantum phase inhibitor here. Not now, anyway. Let's try that cave up ahead. Looks like a good spot.
Acknowledged.
Wow, rain on Ryza. I guess they haven't installed the weather control systems yet. We have to hide the device very well. I can't afford to let it fall into the wrong hands again. And the Vorgons are very persistent.
I wonder when the summer event is going to end up starting. I miss when they used to have a calendar. But they took it away. Getting my uniform all wet.
No, that's too obvious. Anyone could find it there. That's better, but I still think it will be too easy to find. That's it. Someone will find it in a few hundred years, but that's a different story for a different captain. Let's get back to your time. We need to check on the Nakul. Setting course for 2014.
We need to get back to the Nakul.
So we have arrived back in the Nakul system in the present, and Caldano has launched his ship. The Tholians are hailing us. On screen.
Return the Tox Utep, and we will let you live.
We no longer have the device. We've hidden it where you will never find it. Launch fighters.
Captain Walker of the USS Pasta. We are responding to a temporal distress call. Do you require assistance? What happened to our son? What did you do?
We weren't able to stop the Tholians, but we were able to retrieve the Toxutot and hide it where nobody can find it.
I'm sure that will be a great comfort to our citizens as they freeze to death.
We'll do whatever we can to assist you.
You have done quite enough. Leave us alone. Time travelers and malcontents and Tholians. The whole lot of you can fall into a black hole. Now, go. We have to figure out how to save our people. And then we'll take steps to protect ourselves. Time is a weapon, and it will never be turned against us again.
Let us know if you change your mind and want our help.
This is Captain Benjamin Walker of the USS Postok. I'm responding to an emergency temporal transmission from these space-time coordinates, but we are no longer detecting the source of these transmissions. Did you lose a time traveler?
Yes, Caldano's ship was damaged and he fell through a temporal portal.
I think you better come aboard while we resolve this. Prepare for transport.
Deus Ex Tempora?
Greetings. It's nice to see you again.
Again? We've never met before.
Not that you remember. We need to scan the continuum for Caldano. Would you care to assist me?
Of course. Oh, I was looking at the wrong lines.
Were you able to locate Caldano?
His ship is in the 22nd century, but these readings are strange.
Enter the temporal coordinates into the transporter.
Acknowledged.
What happened with Caldano?
He's dead. And it looks like he's been dead for centuries.
No, this was meant to happen. Caldano went further back into the past than you knew. The NX-01 Enterprise, captained by Jonathan Archer, found his ship in the 22nd century, and his chief engineer activated Caldano's emergency temporal circuit, which returned the ship to its last known time, this one. But by the time that happened, Caldano had been dead for centuries. The Tox Utat is safe. It was found in the mid-24th century by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who destroyed it before it could be used to harm others.
And the Nakul? Isn't there anything we can do for them?
Altering the past causes ripples. The effects move through time, shifting everything they touch, and it may take eons for all of them to be seen. The Nakul will survive, although their homeworld will be lost. They will become time travelers themselves, and their actions in the temporal Cold War shaped the galaxy you now know. There are some things you shouldn't change, that you can't change.
The temporal Cold War.
You could check Captain Archer's old logs for more information, but you will know all about it soon enough. You are entering a dangerous era in history. Time travel, like warp drive before it, will radically change your society. I'll see you again. We have a lot to do.
Didn't it sound like there were like two separate recordings here? When he was like, you should check Captain Archer's. Like, it sounded like he just started a new sentence or something. Or, I don't know. That sounded really weird to me. Okay, well, farewell, Captain, and thank you.
This is a sad day for the Federation. We failed to save the Nakul system. And our friend from the future, Caldano, is dead. I know you did everything you could. Sometimes, especially when we venture into time travel, things must play out a certain way. So, at least the timeline has been preserved. Captain Picard can now find the Tox Uthot on Risa in the 24th century. Still, let us mourn for Caldano and the Nakul people.
Well, that kind of gives away a bit of the future. Kind of wish whenever I open the thing, it doesn't just put me there.
We have been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline from factions who might want to change history. Considering our recent experiences, we feel the need to better understand the rules of time travel. However, it's important we don't know too much about the future, so we have decided to designate one representative to learn what we need to know. Given your record, you were the logical choice. You are to rendezvous with the USS Postok. Her captain will give you a more thorough briefing upon arrival.
Please report to the USS Postok.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance.
Tell me more about the Temporal Prime Directive.
Starfleet personnel are strictly forbidden from directly interfering with historical events, and are required to maintain the timeline when possible. We're also restricted from revealing too much about the future. These principles have served Starfleet well. Now that the time travel genie is out of the bottle, it'll be hard to get it back in. The tech will spread through the galaxy, and species after species will learn the secrets of time.
I've seen that firsthand several times. Yep. Today we'll be going to the signing of the Temporal Accords. It's an honor you've earned as an agent, and I think it's important that you see for yourself what the work of the Alliance will lead to, and how important it is to future civilizations. Thank you. It's an honor.
Are you ready to visit the future?
Take me to the future!
Welcome to New Kittimer.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know.
That's true. Did you know I'm from the 23rd century?
Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... Wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from?
2410?
Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hall for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments.
Yeah, It would even be more confusing too when you end up with somebody from that from history coming up and speaking to you. Very well then.
Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Indeed, thank you. Look who it is. Philip Cray.
Greetings, friend. How may I help you?
Don't you recognize me?
Pretty certain we haven't met until just now. But not yet, at least. I just graduated from the Academy as a temporal agent. That being said, it's quite possible that we will meet in the future. Well, my future. Tell you what, I'll try to act surprised when it happens.
Well, that's all for now.
The Nakul are here to protest the signing of these unlawful, biased accords.
Why?
The Tholians ravaged our homeworld thanks to the Federation's ineptitude. In one dark moment, my people were scattered throughout the stars. All we were, our history, our way of life, was nearly lost. And when we needed the Federation the most, we were denied. Terrorists, they called us. Criminals, the dregs of the galaxy. These words, these deeds will never be forgotten or forgiven.
I'm not sure what the tragedy of the past has to do with today's events.
Today, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours?
So you would change the past despite the risks. You could undo your own existence.
My existence? My existence has been nothing but hardship and pain. The life of an exile. I'd gladly sacrifice it to restore my homeworld and prevent the mass exodus of my people. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same, were our places reversed.
I'd resist the temptation. Too much could go wrong to risk it.
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
Descendia are no strangers to temporal affairs. The tragic conflict with Earth in the 22nd century and our manipulation by the Sphere Builders are matters of deep shame for us all. We support the Accords with the hope that they will prevent such tragedies from this day forth.
A worthy goal.
I must say, I am privileged to witness this historic event. Truly it is a singular honor. I'm humbled, as I'm sure you are as well.
Indeed. Be seeing history in the making today.
I cover the coward's every inconspiracy that lies behind the present, rather than a memory of the past, a history of the future.
I'm sure your support of the Accords is appreciated.
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
It must be your friendly nature that got you selected as an ambassador. Don't mind me, I'm just going to stand in your little flume.
While the Accords promise to safeguard the time stream for us all, I can't help but ponder the opportunities for temporal abuse that will remain after they are signed. I fear great imbalance could occur, despite the very good intentions of all the signatories involved.
You make a good point.
I am honored by the Founders and pleased to observe this most historic event. Although the Dominion was not greatly affected by the development of time travel, we have an interest in safeguarding the time stream.
It's good to hear.
Jolan True, you are from the past. From before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
Indeed it is.
The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
I see.
I am reminded of a quote from ancient Earth. And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
An interesting perspective.
Greetings. Pardon me for saying so, but you look very familiar. Have we met before? Wait, I remember you from my history studies. You saved our home world. There's a statue in your honor in the capital city on Lucari Prime. Oh, wait. That's already happened for you, right? Oh, good. Woo. Just my luck to cause a paradox here, today. Can you imagine?
It would be a little awkward, yes.
These accords are going to provide quite the opportunity for historical studies of economic matters. I hear the Grand Negus is going to formally announce several new temporal rules of acquisition soon. I hope at least one of them covers going back in time to beat someone to a deal.
Hopefully in a way that prevents such activities. Also, it's funny that the Federation ambassador is a representative of the Klingon Empire.
Your uniform. 25th century, correct? You're definitely a visitor from the past, and an honored one at that. Welcome to the 28th century. I hope you'll enjoy seeing what your work and sacrifice has wrought.
Thank you for the honor.
The Borg have a checkered past when it comes to time travel, particularly where the Federation is concerned. Thankfully, we've had the chance to make amends. The Cooperative is proud to be a part of today's proceedings.
As am I. It's quite an honor.
We Kabali are quite thankful to see the Accords go into effect. Many who disagree with our customs could be tempted to return to a point in time where those customs could be disrupted permanently.
Indeed. Wait a minute. It's the exact same person. Just different names.
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble master of ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting. This ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the signing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
Representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation... Wait, there is some kind of disturbance.
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the temporal accords. We shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history.
Quick, get the delegates to safety. The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage. The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates.
Kinda wish my character would have some kind of reaction to the fact that there was a giant Noi. But oh well. Guess I'll just say acknowledged.
Watch out! More Krenim beaming in! More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
Anybody hear us? The Krenim are holding us hostage in the embassy offices. Please, anyone, help!
The Krenim are holding us hostage, requesting immediate assistance.
Hang on, we're on our way.
Cooperate, and you won't be harmed. Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
Ow.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day. My thanks to you, of course.
You're welcome.
You saved my world. And now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
Feelings mutual, Ambassador. Stay safe. Okay.
It was a good day to die. For the Krenim.
Well said, Ambassador. Kapla. Still don't know why the Klingons are representing the Federation.
My life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
You're welcome.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack. Those look like Krenim ships.
And they're attacking in force. We've got to stop them before they disrupt the timeline any further.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships fire at will. Leave no survivors. Recognize that ship. Oh no, not this time. This time, you will not prevail. Taste the bitter dregs of failure.
Come on, boy, I thought we were friends. Miranda class up there? Nice to know in the 28th blah, blah. Nice to know that in the 28th century they're still in action.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we?
Understood. Helm, set an intercept course.
focused on the array. Most of the Krenim ships. Engaging Anorax now. The more the merrier. On the Anorax timeship project, if memory serves.
Yes, he helped us against the Iconians.
I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
We're ready.
Docking.
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure?
I have some questions about Noi.
Noi? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile. And that's saying something for Noi. I was about to check in with him, if you would like to accompany me.
Lead on, Supervisor.
Oh, it's you. I thought I'd seen the last of you after you flew off to your great victory over the Iconians. Well, what do you want? I'm very busy.
What are you working on?
Come now, you can read, can't you? Access my latest report to command if you want to know what I'm working on. Feel free to waste the time of the charming bureaucrat standing next to you, but I'll thank you to stop wasting mine. Now, if this interrogation is over, I've more important matters to attend to. Good day.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why.
We have reason to believe he may be plotting treason. Would it be possible to see what he was working on?
Treason? Noi? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noi has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files.
Thank you, Supervisor.
He was working on the Anorax. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamp.
I see you found my farewell gift, Tralla. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anorax now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
Everyone else is so distraught they're just walking really, really fast. Wonder why we never decided to dismantle that weapon.
Noi stole the Anorax? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this?
Maybe there's a clue in his personal logs.
There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noi. Authorization Tralla 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. We had some visitors from the Alliance today. Noi was rather rude to them, but I managed to smooth things over. This time. Still, he has good reason to be stressed. The war isn't going well, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. He could be a bit more agreeable, however. Perhaps a peace offering. Those Terran snack cakes he's so fond of with the... what is the word? Nougat. I tried to tell him about the baby again last night, but he was so stressed out. I just couldn't add to his burden. Hopefully things will calm down a bit soon and I can tell him. On a positive note, my work is progressing quite well. I believe these logs should now be shielded from any kind of temporal incursion.
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. My review of the time capsule files is complete. What I've learned has shocked me to the very core of my being. I had a wife, and she was pregnant. My wife and unborn child were murdered by the Federation and their allies. They devastated my people, murdered my family, and erased an entire species from time and space. I cannot let this stand. This I vow. I shall not rest until I have restored my family or avenged their deaths. Time itself shall be the instrument of my vengeance.
What do you mean we devastated your people?
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. At last, I have found them, the Tutarians, or rather, what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful, so powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods, and yet they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from durance vile. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Clouda.
Please input your selection below. Download complete.
What the? We're under attack!
Noi has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
I have been waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance.
They'll be your last if you're not careful. Stand down.
As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments, but for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you.
This doesn't have to happen, Noi.
Oh, but it does, believe me. You took them. My wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then, and it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first. It's time for you to die.
You're better than this, Noi. Stand down.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noi over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anorax packs quite a punch.
Acknowledged. And there's the Anorax all the way over there. There's all my fighters. Admiral, we've been pulled into the time stream with the Anoraks. We can't let her escape. Target her engineering section and disable the main drive. Wait, what? Why are you showing me this again? Is it going to show me a third time? Nope.
Oh, there you are. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to Noi?
He disrupted our warp field and made his escape in the chaos.
Damn. A rogue agent out there with a ship like the Anoraks is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
Oh, did we... Okay. But I'm afraid the news gets worse. My science officer tells me that Noi's ship is using sphere builder tech. Looks like they're back, and with a vengeance. Bit awkward that they skip a few lines.
So, Noi turned against us, huh? This is troublesome. With his theft of the Anoraks, he poses a great threat to the galaxy. Sadly, I don't think we've seen the last of him. The surprise actions of the Nakul are also a concern. What could they be up to, I wonder? Regardless, I think you'll agree. The battlefield just got a lot bigger.
Let's get this one. High Tide. And the next mission will end up being the Temporal Front. And after that, we'll be able to do this mission here. When this is all done, I should be able to do this one, the Survivor. But for the time being, I am going to stop. I'm kind of craving some food right now, so I'm going to go get something to eat. So thank you all for watching. I am not sure when I'll be back. I'll be making sure to get these 2 recordings uploaded to YouTube. So, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the future. Goodbye.